Andreas, thanks for sitting down with me today. I appreciate it. Great to see you.
Nice to see you, Shawn.
Excellent. Andreas, you've come from the agrochemical side of agriculture into a very specific niche in the seed industry. Can you share with me a little bit, what are some of the new things you've learned that you've seen is coming specifically into the seed side, and specifically, even more specifically, the seed testing side?
Yes, of course, you're right, Shawn. I'm coming from another sector of agronomy, and you may call agrochemical registration also a kind of a niche sector. In a way, my background, you may know, and you may have read and heard about is chemistry and agronomy, which is a much broader spectrum, and that, of course, included the seed part of the agronomy to a certain extent, and of course testing as well. My background probably is extremely helpful for ISTA and being the Secretary General of ISTA. I'm probably the first person not coming from the seed sector in this position, as you may know, but I don't think that's a drawback for ISTA. I think that's a good opportunity, because it's an opportunity to look over the fence into other sectors of agronomy.
Right.
I found during my first months, actually, that there are a number of overlaps, which you can see. One part is the sampling and sampling techniques, which may help quality systems, which are a little bit different in the other areas, and also the advanced technologies.
Right.
But there are also developments and experiences which I can then bring into this new position. Actually, if you look at residue chemistry, where I was working in, the trace analysis was very important. And we were talking about parts per trillion residue samples.
Right.
And in that case, sampling and sample preparation took a major role in being accurate and not little falsification of results. And I see when we talk about DNA testing that is an issue within the seed industry as well as the seed testing.
Sure is.
So I'm probably able to bring some experience of an analytical technique which is now 30, 40 years old into this new sector as well.
Excellent.
The same is for the quality system, where we in agrochemicals have the GLP system with laboratory practice, which is guiding all studies in the laboratories. And with the respect what ISTA is introducing, the only sampling entities, we might have an issue with the chain of custody records of seed samples. The one entity is sampling and the other entity is analyzing samples. We created this international seed sampling template, but that's in a trial period, and I think we can learn from other sectors in ISTA accreditation as well. I'm continuously discussing that with Florina Pallada, our head of accreditation and technical department, and we probably will benefit from these experiences.
Okay, excellent. ISTA continues to grow, continues to add members. If we were to have some people that were sitting on the fence, wondering, should I become part of ISTA, should I not become part of ISTA, what kind of things would you be telling them about, A, why is ISTA an important part to the seed testing sector, and B, why should they become a member?
Yeah, so the key things for ISTA are the internationally accepted rules, testing methods, and certificates. That also includes the accreditation service, of course, but that's not the make of the break, actually. If you look at the 3 points which I would point out here, one is the proficiency testing and the accreditation system. The proficiency testing is a unique thing for the laboratories to compare themselves where they stand with their quality worldwide. More than 170, 180 labs are participating in the standard testing. And these, which I learned during visits over the last half a year in my office, that these results of the proficiency tests of ISTA are also used by some national authorities for their national seed testing systems.
Right.
Because it doesn't pay for them to set up something for a handful of labs, and the statistics within 170 is much better for them. And this proficiency testing is then the backbone of our accreditation system.
Absolutely.
The other things is the dissemination of knowledge, Shawn, which we do, as you know, via STI and SST partly, but also during workshops.
Right.
This year we did about 8 workshops in 5 different countries all over the world. And these workshops are done by people who put their heart, soul and experience into these things.
Right.
Which is very important and which impressed me also very much when I joined ISTA, to be coming into a family-like environment. These workshops are requested more and more, and we every month get a request from a country that we should do workshops in their area. The third thing is that we probably have, when you join, the possibility also to work in one of 18, in the ISTA's 18 technical committees, which is quite important. So you can bring in your experience and your views into the hot topics of the seed testing industry.
Right. Perfect. And so as we're coming to a close for 2017, we're looking into 2018. What do you see as ISTA's top priorities for 2018?
Yeah, one thing is that we want to grow, of course.
Right.
ISTA wants to grow, but we do not want to grow only on a marketing exercise.
Right.
We want to grow in areas and regions and economies with laboratories who see the need to join ISTA.
Right.
What does it mean? We are over 90 years old association, but we need to work and cooperate with our shareholders and the seed industry.
Right.
And we need to raise the awareness of ISTA, that we are there, what we are doing. There are 2 points where we are doing that in the future and where we started it recently. One is the World Seed Partnership, and you can look at our website there, which is worldseedpartnership.org. And that's a partnership between ISTA, the OECD Seed Schemes, ISF, UCOF, and the World Farmers Organization. Right. So a lot of shareholders which are very important in the seed business. And our goal is to achieve awareness of each other together and show the world where we are fit in our areas.
This is a level of collaboration that has never happened between these organizations.
And there were always discussions, and
Sure.
There was something like a World Seed project, which ended in this World Seed Partnership.
Right.
But that is something where we now meet every 6 weeks and talk about what we are going to do, where we are going to see areas where we could collaborate and need to collaborate together.
Okay.
And another point is that we will be working together more strongly with FAO, where we have a memorandum of understanding. And it is the same, that we want to raise awareness in areas where our help is needed.
Right.
And then give experience to the people and gain the reputation that they will join ISTA.
Andreas, I'm going to ask for a little mini commercial here. ISTA plays a role in the quality control of seed. If someone is using an ISTA accredited laboratory, what benefits can they expect to have, and why is that important for the seed industry?
Yeah, I think that the control and the improvement is related to the quality of the laboratory.
Right.
And this can not only be done by the laboratory by participation of the PTs, but also the accreditation and the accreditation audits. I had recently the opportunity to be as an observer during an ISTA accreditation audit, because I wanted to learn as a new Secretary General about this as well. And that was in Japan. And I was pretty grateful for this opportunity, because I could see how closely the auditors and the laboratory staff are collaborating. They are working together, they are discussing very closely the procedures, the workflow, and exchanging experiences, which I think is very important. And my impression was that the audit was taken by the lab staff more as an opportunity to learn and improve their work than to be checked. which actually was the case. And I think, therefore, the accreditation system of ISTA leads for an ISTA lab client to the point that he gets a great value product, a great seed analysis for his money.
Right.
And this is resulting then in the issuance of the ISTA Orange International Certificate, which allows him to trade his seed worldwide, which is a great benefit for them. Good analysis and the possibility to trade worldwide.
That actually prompts an important question, because you said the O word of orange. Is it mandatory that you have to wear an orange tie when you're out in public, Andreas?
Our new corporate identity-wise, yes.
Nice. Perfect. Excellent. Glad to hear it. Andreas, so what do you see as some of the hurdles for the seed testing sector in the coming years that are going to play a role both in your organization and seed testing in general?
Let's put it like that. I'm pretty sure that there will be changes. Maybe not next year, maybe not the year after, but there will be changes coming up. One thing which I learned currently was also in the vegetable seed industry, where ISF and ISTA are working closely together. And the members of some of our executive committee members and myself had the opportunity to visit the vegetable seed industry in Enkhuizen, which is the Netherlands' top area for seed production of vegetables. And the excursion to these facilities displayed the need of the vegetable seed industry, which is completely different to the rest of the seed industry.
That's the truth, yeah.
But I believe that understanding the needs of each other is very important, and we got the information from the vegetable seed industry, and now we are working together with them to set up new rules and maybe new techniques for the vegetable seed industry. And my personal belief is that these things which we are doing now will be of importance for the future for the seed industry in total, because the vegetable seed industry I see as one of the pioneers in the seed industry. And of course it's important to raise the profile of seed analysts, because attracting people in this area is very important for us.
Absolutely. Right now there's a lot of talk in plant breeding about new plant breeding techniques. We've got lots of new technology coming down the pipe that is going to change the sector in very positive ways. Can you talk about, is this going to impact on the seed testing industry? And then what opportunities does that generate from a seed testing perspective?
You're right, Shawn. The new plant breeding techniques play a major role in molecular farming. And I followed recently all the publications about that, or a number of them, at least German ones, on that topic. And I think that this will also trigger new techniques in seed analysis. The molecular techniques will be of more and more importance also to ISTA labs. And we are taking that up very seriously.
Right.
This is also done not only alone, but together with UPOF and OECD.
Right.
Where we have the BMT groups which are collaborating with each other. And there again, collaboration, cooperation, communication is probably the way to success. And ISTA has already molecular techniques in their rules, but we are adding on a yearly basis more and more of these rules into the ISTA rules.
Right, okay, perfect. So communication is always a critical tool to be able to portray our message and share with various stakeholder groups. The general public doesn't necessarily understand what we do very well, and I will say shame on us for not having portrayed that completely. I'm curious to hear from your perspective, what things do you see that the industry could/should be doing in an effort to get our message out in a more complete way?
They're doing quite a good job. If you look at the ISF motto, Seed is Life.
Absolutely.
That is something which you couldn't stress again and again in the public. To stress that the quality of seeds is important for the food chain, especially with respect when you look into the public that we feel the need of reducing pesticide use. And you need to improve other areas, which would be seeds.
Absolutely.
And this is done to guarantee the food chain.
Right.
ISTA is doing its best to provide farmers with high quality seeds. The seed industry might have a mixed reputation, as you say, especially in some areas, but the product they deliver is essential for the farmers and therefore for food and feed production.
Absolutely.
You remember probably, we are same age,
Yep.
that Christmas 1984, there was Bob Geldof's band AIDS
Right.
singing its famous song.
Yes,
Do
absolutely.
they know it's Christmas and we are short before Christmas again?
Yes.
And do you remember the most famous words of this song? It was feed the world.
Oh, yeah, right. You're right.
And that is exactly what we are doing and what we are trying to achieve, Shawn. And the seed industry is often doing that against all odds.
It's true. It is very true.
And with the ISTA motto, uniformity in seed testing worldwide, we try to put our contribution to this point and help to do just that, feed the world.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Andreas. I appreciate the work that ISTA is doing, and I appreciate the work that you're doing with ISTA, and look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Thank you, Shawn.
Thank you, Andreas.